Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome and happy Wednesday to you. Today I wanted to talk about different things. It's all kind of mixed up. I don't have a specific aim at this point. I just want to get this information to you and I'll figure out my direction while I record. So on Monday, I discussed my why and my reasoning for doing what I do. Now, when you make these changes, it's not easy. And the reason that it's not easy is because all this time you've been programmed one way. And the food industry in this country, the food engineers in this country are very much aware of how habits are formed as far as the way that certain foods create dopamine surges and foods that are processed and high in sugars, sugar, fat, and salt create these extreme pleasure signals in our minds. And then when you go from that level of pleasure to eating vegetables and fruits and whole food plant-based foods, the reaction is not the same. You're not getting the same excitement. It's like going from the most extreme roller coaster thrill ride to then taking a carousel ride. So the reactions are different, and because of those kind of reactions and the way you kind of feel when you first start, you think that maybe you're not doing something right, or you just feel like you're struggling to make these changes. And that's only because your brain and your body has to adjust to this actual normal response that the body has with food and the way that we're designed biologically to respond to food, as opposed to the way that we've been programmed to because of food engineering and the stuff that goes into food that we don't even know goes into our processed food products and things that are basically pumped into our veins. So because of that, the changes at first seem like, a struggle. So why is it a struggle? Why do I feel like it's a struggle on a daily basis? It's not because of your lack of motivation. So it says the reasons why it's so difficult is not because of your lack of motivation or there's anything wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not less than anyone else. You're not less motivated. It has nothing to do, in a sense, with motivation, because there are days that motivation is not there, whatever we're doing. There's days where motivation is not there to go to work. There's days where motivation is not there to clean your house or do laundry or all the things that we do on a daily basis, but we still do them because we need to do them. And the same goes with making changes in your lifestyle as far as your eating habits, because you're not always going to want to do them, but you're going to because they'll make you feel better. So you have to have this plan in mind. What am I going to eat today? What am I going to eat this week? That sets you up for success. So every day you wake up, it's like you're programmed. You're going and you're eating those 3 meals that you laid out for yourself. You know what you're eating. You know exactly what you're going towards, and there's no room for error there. And it's funny because a couple of nights ago, or one night this past weekend, I was feeling extra hungry, and there's times that you'll feel that way for whatever reason. It wasn't emotional. I really was actually very hungry, even though I'd ate what I needed to eat and all of that. So I went into my refrigerator, and the only option available to me are healthy options. So I went and I grabbed, I think it was some fruit or a vegetable, whatever I grabbed. Like I have, in there spinach and carrots and different things like that right now. And so I was laughing to myself because I'm like, in the past, if snacks were available to me or things like that were in the house, well, you live with other people, so there might be other things around, but right now I don't have anything around that's processed or considered junk food, so I can go and overeat some spinach and fill up some, take an extra helping of fruit or an extra helping of leafy greens or radishes or cucumbers and I'll still be on track on my health goals. I won't be overboard. So I did. I think I ate a couple of like those little mandarin oranges, and I had spinach, and I had a cucumber, and I had a bunch of things. And by the end of it, some water, I was good. The satisfaction level was, reached, and with foods that are whole foods and they're good for you. And then there's no feeling of feeling deprived. There's no feeling guilt. There's no anything, because you've eaten what you needed to eat. Your body received what it needed to receive, and it wasn't processed, and it wasn't filled with salt and sugar and oil and all the things that are not beneficial to your body. So that was an interesting change that I noticed, because if you buy any kind of snack food, and let's say for your child or a sibling or whoever you live with, a roommate, and that roommate doesn't eat them, or whoever doesn't eat them as rapidly as you would, then removing them from your environment is probably the most beneficial thing that you can do, is completely getting rid of everything around you. And everyone around you, they can eat this way because it's beneficial to everybody to eat more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, all the things that are, natural in their natural form, that grow from the ground or wherever, from, trees and whatever. But things that grow in their natural form are always healthier than that was processed in a factory. So if you're not buying those snack foods, then there's even less room for error, and hopefully once the habit is formed, it just becomes this mechanical thing that you always do, and you naturally go towards the other kinds of foods because no other way at that point. So if you've habitually eaten foods and created super high intensity dopamine responses in your brain, normal will not feel good. You need super normal levels to feel that high that eating foods brings everyone in their brain. Once you adapt to a new lifestyle, naturally you're going to go towards the new foods that you've adapted, and you will have the normal pleasure responses from those foods. So believe it or not, you will get excited about the taste of a sweet potato, or the taste of a vegetable or fruit that you normally were not interested in, but your taste buds and your body and your dopamine levels have now become normalized. Like now they're responding the way that we're biologically supposed to respond to food, and not have these like raw pleasure surges from like the biggest burger oozing with cheese and French fries and this and the latest trend, or mac and cheese deep fried somewhere and this and that and the other. It won't be like these trendy foods, let's say, but it would be foods that are beneficial to your body. And at the end of the day, I really don't want a trendy food if I'm going to be continuing to live in an obese body. I don't know about you. But now, naturally, you're going to go towards the most pleasurable thing. Okay, so the reason why actually that it's a struggle, and the reason why we can't make these changes, some of us, and all of us like struggle with this up and down kind of like, I should be good, I should be bad. I'm sure you've heard it from everybody. That like as either watching their weight, you'll see someone who's very thin and also in the same kind of trap of, I ate so horrible, or this, and I'm compensating for it by working out extra. The gyms are crowded on Mondays. People have that weekend guilt. They drank too much or did whatever, and they're back at the gym trying to reset their habits again for the week. And some people successfully do that week in and week out, and I just can't do that. I literally cannot veer off of my plan for 2 days and then veer back on easily. So I just stay on my path as best as I can in the way that I can, because that works for me. Everybody has something that works for them. You have to find what works for you, the diet that works for you, the foods that work for you, that you can continue long term. That's the key, finding what works for you. Now, let's see here. Foods. Okay, so the foods that you're used to, for me, I ate fast food. I ate everything. I ate healthy food. I ate unhealthy food. I ate processed food. I ate snacks. I mean, I was, not discriminating against any food group because I was eating it all and enjoying myself. But I was also reaping the negative benefits of that lifestyle, the laziness, the sluggishness, oh, there's so many downsides to it. There's so many downsides. The pleasure is this much, and the negative is way, way, way bigger than this screen even fits. The negative is proof, is my body. The negative is proof. My body's not negative, but the effects that happen to my body because of my body's natural response to an overabundance of calories that it doesn't need was to expand itself and to be bigger because there was fat cells being filled with unhealthy fat-laden foods. Now, okay, so it says the key with all lifestyle change and recovery, the key to all lifestyle changes and recovery. So I am a recovering food addict. I'm a recovering habitual bad choice maker when it comes to diet. So the key to it is being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Now, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And by that, I mean, get comfortable with the fact that this always isn't going to be comfortable, and it's not always going to be fun, and it's not always going to be this, and it's going to be hard, and every day will be a struggle until one day it's not. Until one day it's exactly the way you're meant to be, literally. So at first it's a struggle. At first it feels like a chore every single day. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this body. I just want to eat whatever I want, and I want to eat what everyone else is eating, and pizza and this and that. And then you realize as it gets, as the days go by and as the habits continue, that you're happier being this way. Like, I do not miss pizza. I literally never thought that I would say that, because I would kind of fantasize about having pizza, about having whatever. Like, I would always be thinking about food. So I would want to eat the next meal, or go to the next restaurant, or find like the most delicious whatever, and always be eating, and always be doing those pleasure seeking activities, because I enjoyed food, but I enjoyed a whole bunch of food, a whole different combination of food, and too much for my body. My body couldn't even handle the amount of food pleasure I was getting. It sounds ridiculous. It is not ridiculous. You know what I mean when you eat something that's so good and you get those responses like, oh, you know, the obsessive, like, kind of, oh my God, I can't believe I'm eating this, and it's so delicious, and you kind of want to go back for more, because I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever eaten one slice of pizza. I've eaten two at least. So these are the responses that I had in my body, and the way that my body was reacting to fast food, even though I know fast food's not good for you, or I know deep fried whatever isn't good for you, but they tasted good, so I continued eating them. So let's see here. What else do I want to tell you? Okay, so here's a quote that's very good. Preparation beats motivation any day of the week. So if you're not motivated, but you're prepared, guess what? You're still succeeding, because I'm not motivated today, let's say, but I have my meal prep in the fridge. I already cooked my lentils, I cooked my quinoa, I cooked my brown rice, I shopped for my produce. I have every tool in place that even if I'm not motivated, I still have that in the fridge. That's what I'm eating. I do not allow myself to eat anything else. I stick to that plan no matter what. So when all else fails, I have that in place. So even if I'm upset, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be upset. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to joke around. But I'm not going to veer off. I'm not going to take a French fry and put it in my mouth. I'm not going to take whatever your food of choice. I'm not going to go grab a slice of pizza thinking, oh, the answer to all my problems is in this slice, because that's not where your answers are. It's so far from that. And I'm also going to stay away from, before I used to kind of not face my problems and not face the problem that I have with my weight and my food habits, and I would look to other people to distract me from that. So whether that was going out or meeting different people, going on a date, or doing anything in the world, wasting time, anything in the world to not have to face my problem and not have to deal with it head on. And believe me, no date, no anything, no friend, no date, no social gathering, no fun event can completely eliminate the reality of your life and what you have to come back home to. So if you are happy with what you have to come back home to, then you're doing the right thing. But if you're not happy with what you have to come back to, then you distracting yourself with people, places, or things is the wrong way to go about it, because you have to face yourself one day, and you have to be happy with the person that's looking back at you in the mirror. And no one else can be happy with the person looking back at you in the mirror besides you, and you can't convince anyone else to like you if you don't like you. And what good are you if you don't like you, right? Like what positive message and what positive relationship or experience can you have if you don't like the person that you are or the person that you've created? So that's really, be prepared above motivated, because every day you're not motivated, but every day you can be prepared, and there's no excuses for that. Your real strength should be based upon your search for truth. Then once you have found that truth, your strength comes in acting upon it. So once you know something, and once you know better, do better. Once your eyes have been so open that they cannot be closed anymore, you have to do better. The number one problem that I found, and then people, and I know, like, talking to people that have a weight problem, and anyone that I've ever talked to that struggles with a change in their life, including myself, the number one problem is that people get in the way of themselves. I am the first person to admit that. I have gotten in the way of myself time and time again. I've been on a great path. I've been on a positive path. I've been going towards something good, and then I get in my own way, and I just let it all go. That's the best way that I can explain it. So the only person that could stop you from doing this is yourself. Trying to find loopholes, trying to find excuses, why you can't do something, if it's hopeless, or any excuse. All of that is BS. You can do anything you want. Eliminate all the excuses, eliminate all the reasons you tell yourself why you can't, eliminate the mindset that tells you you're not worth it, eliminate the comfort that you're in. Like, you are comfortable not being your best. Like, you are comfortable living this lifestyle, and you have to get out of this comfort zone of yours and be uncomfortable for a period of time to get back to being within a normal body range, within a normal eating habit. And it's going to be a period of time. There'll be days where you wake up and you don't want to do it, and it goes and goes and goes, and maybe like it'll take you a week, or take you 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month. And then one day you'll wake up and it's no longer a chore for you. It's no longer work. It's like, it's amazing. It's exciting. You want to do it. You look forward to it. You want to learn more. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't even stress that enough. Find a community. So find an outlet, because there's other people going through things, ups and downs, just like you. And if you find people that you can relate to, know that you're not in this alone, it will become easier, because everyone needs somebody to encourage them in the lowest times, or in the times that they need it the most. And if that's here on YouTube, on this channel, then I'm happy that you're here and watching. And if it's not, if it's not just this, find a friend, find someone who's accountable for their own life decisions, find someone who's on a path like you are, and check in with that person. Have that person check in with you, and be strong together. And so let's see what else I wrote here. I have so many notes, and I get so distracted when I record these things because I want to say everything all at once. Okay, the world, okay, so my goal for myself, and I hope your goal for yourself, is to be the healthiest version of yourself. And the foods, the fuel that you put into your body, that's helping you create that vision. So for me, the foods that I put on my plate, the foods that I consume, are literally helping me achieve the healthiest version of myself. I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I don't want to look like anyone else. I want to look like myself. and I want to look like myself in the healthiest version of myself that I can possibly look, because we're all blessed with so many things and so many positive qualities and so many positive attributes, that to wish that you look like someone else or to want to be someone else is a disservice to yourself. So I don't wish to look like anyone else. I don't wish to be anyone else. I just wish to be the healthiest version of Farnaz that I can be. And I hope that's your wish for yourself too. And you can do this. That you should know that you can do this, and there's nothing getting in your way except the old version of yourself. I'll see you on Friday. Bye.